Hey guys, back with another video, and what I have for you is my October reads. Okay, so before I get into what I have that I'm gonna read for the month of October, I want to first let you guys know that I have not done any wrap-ups for, I believe it is September, August and September. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a wrap up for August, September, and October at the end of October. There's just been so much going on. I really wanted to do the Christian readathon wrap up, but I have not gotten a chance to get to it. My college workload is about as thick as the everyday life workload. So things are getting busier with my last few classes with college, and things are getting busier with church functions, and it's just been a whole lot. It's been a whole lot. So between work, the kids, the husband, um, church, and classes, it's been just hard to find time to hang out with family. So whenever I've been getting a chance to hang out with family, I do that. So the small amount of times that I've been able to get a chance to read, I've been reading. But I find myself doing more of like reading sprints. So I may get like 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there. I have not gotten a full 15 minutes. When I wake up, like this is how early, or not how early, how busy things are. When I get up the 30 minutes before I have to go to work, actually it's 30 minutes before I wake the kids up. I have to use that time for my quiet time to do my devos, because otherwise they would not get done. It's only 30 minutes, so there's like no time to do any other reading for fun or reading for pleasure. I've been trying to use some time after work and before a class, or after work and before like a church function, but it's been pretty much as soon as I'm done with work, I try to relax a little bit, because then my husband and I have to figure out dinner plans with kids, and then before you know it, it's time to go somewhere. So I also am, well, actually, I can say that when I get into the list. So let's get into the October TBR. So my TBR for October, I literally have um, three definite books on my list, right? So 3 books that I for sure want to read. Okay. First one is The Haunted Mass 2, because this will be the last book in my what do you call it, 3-month challenge. I am doing a 3-month TBR, well, readathon challenge, that's what it is. I'm doing a 3-month readathon challenge that is hosted by the channel is Are You Into Horror, and the host is Richard. I will try to link his YouTube channel in the description box below. But this month is the last month for it. And what he did was he gave 3 books to read, and you picked one, or it's 1 prompt per month. It was August, September, and October. And I caught August the last, I believe it was week, maybe less than that. But I picked a book that was really super short, and I'll tell you about that in the wrap up. So I was able to get that one on time. And September's book, I believe, was a book with the word October in the name, or that took place in October. I can't remember, to be quite honest. So I might have flipped these. So this one is taking place on Halloween. That was probably September's. Yeah, it was probably September's. So I probably just got them switched. But, whatevs. Because the other prompt was to read a book with the October in the name. And I'll tell you about that book in the wrap up, because I'm also reading that book. But since I hadn't read this one, that's what I'm going to read. The next book that's on my list, and it's, I would say fairly short or decently short, considering it's also a smaller size book. It's like a little pocket, mass market paperback, but it is Carrie, written by Stephen King. Believe it or not, I've never read this one. I've seen the old movie, which I absolutely love. I've seen the remake, which I thought was okay. I didn't hate it. It was like, I think because my heart is with the old school horror novels or in horror movies, that I thought it was good. I thought it was really good, and I've watched it several times, but my favorite is the old one. So if I had to compare the two, I would definitely go with the old one. But it's not a bad movie. I would suggest both movies. But I've never read the book. I know you say read the book first and then watch the show or the movie, whichever one there is. But I was tiny the first time that I decided to sneak into my parents' room when I was little. They were asleep, like dead as doornail sleep, and I decided to sneak into their room to watch TV because they always watched scary movies, and they would fall asleep. Well, not always, but for the most part, they watched a lot of horror movies, and they would fall asleep with the TV still on, so I would just sneak in there to watch whatever late night horror movies that came on. And one time it was Carrie. I mean, I have a bunch of sci-fi horror movies, all of them. Like between my parents and my grandma, I actually just used to crawl in bed and watch it with her. It was one of the things that I probably wasn't supposed to do, but did anyway. And so there's that. But I really want to read this one. I have not read it. I want to read it. It's on this list, right? So the other other book I definitely want to read in the month of October is to finish. It's actually a finish. I want to finish this book. I think I started this book in August, and it was supposed to be for another readathon, but I think it was supposed to be for the Horror in 24 readathon, and I think the prompt was to read a book with red in the cover. But I was able to double one of the books that I read, and I believe it was Salem's Lot, because the puncture wounds in the neck on the picture were red. So I doubled that book. And this book I started, but I did not finish. I was also reading a lot of books for school, for classes, like my college classes, not for like school work. Because I call them both school, and sometimes people get confused. So for college classes, I was reading a lot of books, and I did not get a chance to finish this one. So I will finish this one. But those are my 3 books. Why do I only have 3 books when I know that I could probably read more? Because of my college classes. There's so much reading for my college classes, and I am a slow reader. I love to read, absolutely love to read, but I am a slow reader, especially with academia or academic text. I have to take those in smaller chunks, which means I don't read a whole lot at one time, which means it takes me longer to read. And then plus, there's this added bit about me having children. But books that I think could potentially be on my list is The Invisible Life of Audie LaRue. I don't really remember the plot of this, because I just went over it, so I should remember it, right? But I believe this is about a young lady who wants to live forever and not really, I didn't think, like, care about the people that she's currently surrounding herself with or living with. So she decides to sell her soul to the devil to live longer or something like that. And then he, once a year, I think they call him Luke, L-U-C, or Luce. But he comes back once a year to see if she's ready to hand over her soul to him. So it's like 900 years. And no one's supposed to remember who she is. and 900 years later, I believe it is, that somebody actually like remembers who she is. So however that's supposed to go. I think there was another book over here. Let me see. No. But anyway, that's one other potential book. But I do have a bunch of other potential books. And actually, let me see if I have them on my Kindle for you. And I say potential because with me being a slow reader, the only reason, or not reason, the only way I will get through these books is if I have them on audio. And guess what I did, guys? I got a bunch of audiobooks. So, if I have time, right? If I have time, these are the books that I...
Penguin Random House Audio.
These are also books that I will potentially be able to listen to on the audiobook, and then they will be part of my October reads. So first one is The End of October by Lawrence Wright. I actually don't know much about this book other than a lot of people are reading it, and it seems to come highly recommended. Sorry, it keeps jumping me all around here. Another one that I just so happen to scroll by, and it just so happens to be an author that I like. Hold on, why is it taking me all the way over here? That's strange. Took me to a different sort of thing. But anyway, it is Flight or Fright. Yeah, Flight or Fright. Sorry, by Stephen King. It's edited by Stephen King and Bev Vincent, and it's also read by Stephen King, Bev Vincent, and a bunch of other people. So I'm guessing that it's probably also written by the same people. It actually didn't say. Then I am also going to read or listen to Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. I read Home Before Dark by Riley Sager, and I didn't realize that I had gotten, I think, all of the other 3 books by Riley Sager also through Book of the Month. I didn't realize that I had them. And yes, that's crazy. I should know how many books that I have, right? I think I got some of these books around the time that I was getting a lot of school books and when we were moving. So through all of that, books got mixed up, right? So forgot that I had them. But since I'm not going to be able to sit down and actually physically read these books, I found it on audio. So that's one. So I don't know if you guys have seen that one on a past TBR of mine, but I'd be reading that one. Another one that is highly recommended by a lot of people and has nothing but great reviews is The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. I will be hopefully listening to this one this month. And you know how I end up getting all of these books to listen to is that I pick how many radio songs I want to listen to from when I leave my home to where I'm going to get. And I'll pick those songs. Usually it's like 1 or 2. And then after I listen to those songs, I'll listen to about 10 minutes or so of an audiobook. And it kind of helps me keep my music that I want to listen to and also keep me with reading as well. Because sometimes I don't even get 5 or 10 minutes when I'm here with these children of mine to read or listen to anything.
Penguin Random House.
Next book, The Changeling. I was supposed to read... Now, I read a version of this last month, and I put that one on my TBR, but I didn't realize that there was another bigger novel, if you will, of The Changeling until I read the short, because I think is a poem. The Changeling that I read last month was a poem, or was it the month before? I can't really remember, but it was a poem, right? And it had something to do with one of the books that I read. It was a horror book about a lady who had twins, and while she was in the hospital, she swore that she saw a changeling, 2 changelings, so 2 twin changelings, be switched out for her kids. But I forgot the name of the book, but I got it from Book of the Month. I'm pretty sure it's in my August TBR, my August wrap up. But I just thought that the myth of Changeling was pretty creepy or whatever, and I wanted to know more about it because I had also seen it in the Grimm fairy tales and in Supernatural. When I say Grimm fairy tales, I mean the TV show Grimm, because I was obsessed with that TV show. But they had an episode about the changeling child or children in that, and then also in Supernatural, I think that's like an episode or two of the changeling theory or myth in there. So I decided to put that on here because I want to know more about that. And then the last book. And this book has been in my Overdrive account so many times, and I still had not gotten changed to get to it. So this might actually be the first book that I decide to read because it's been in here for so long. And it is The Long Bright River. I've heard nothing but great things about this book, and I just had not had the time to sit down and listen to it. So this might be the first book that I listen to. So you've seen my very ambitious October TBR, right? I may not get to any of these. I am currently looking to see if I can get the audiobook in Overdrive for Carrie, because I really do want to read this one. I'm hoping that I can sit down with The Last Flight to finish that one off, because I really, really want to finish it off. But I know for sure, if no other book gets read this month, The Haunted Mask will get read, because I am finishing off my 3-month readathon, because it's literally 3 books to complete the whole thing. So I'm just like, why wouldn't I be able to finish it? You know what I'm saying? So that is my October TBR. I hope you guys like it. So anyway, if you are not a subscriber to my channel, please consider subscribing and hit that subscription button down below, and then hit the notification bell so that you can be aware of every time I upload a video. And if you've already been here, thank you for watching, and until next time, peace.